Well, howdy y'all. Andy Redneck here again. It's January 21st, or 22nd. Yeah, January 22nd in the year 2021. And I am busy drilling a couple holes in one of my this was one of the buckets I used last year as a container to grow a tomato in. So it already had these big holes in it. And I just went through and drilled a bunch more little 1/4-inch holes in it because we're going to make ourselves a vermicomposting bucket. And what that means is worm compost. Now that we got all these holes drilled in the bottom of this bucket, we are actually going to take this other bucket here with no holes drilled in it, put this first bucket in here. All right, so we can see down there, we can see the holes, we got some dirt. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of wasting materials. So I actually been saving for a little while something that we just normally just throw away. That's these toilet paper rolls. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to toss a bunch of these in here into the bucket. You can tear them up. Some people use shredded newspaper or shredded cardboard. These are small enough that we're just going to toss them in whole to cover the bottom of the holes, so the next thing we put in there doesn't just fall out the bottom all willy-nilly. So we got these in here. We'll squish them down a bit. All right. And then next we got is cocoa core. This is just coconut core that we expanded, that we use in our potting soil. We're going to pour this over our sorry about that, you fell off. We'll pour this over our cardboard pieces and press it down a little. The cardboard and coconut core is basically bedding for our next ingredient. And our next ingredient is our worms. We got these from a local live bait area. I don't know how live they are. Hopefully, they seem to be relatively lively. Once we get them in here and get them warmed up and all, they'll probably be doing better. But we're going to put these guys in here. And then all of our kitchen scraps, my chickens don't like all the chicken scraps I make. Like the onions, and they don't like the potato peels, and they don't like the cabbage cores, and they're not too big of fans of banana peels. So all of those we're going to put in here, and we're going to let the worms eat, and they're going to turn it into a vermicompost or worm poop. And then we're going to take that and we'll use it as a high nutrition supplement for the gardens. Now, the only three things left we got to do is moisten this a little more than it already is. Put some food in here for them and put a lid on it. I've got lids with holes in them laying around here. You want a lid with some holes in it to actually give them air to breathe. So, again, like I say, everything that I can't feed the chickens is going to go in here, including little bits of paper and cardboard like this. The worms will end up eating that too. And then as this goes, I'll take and lure the worms up into another bucket. I'll put a third bucket on here with holes in the bottom, right on top of this, and the worms will crawl up through the holes to eat and move into the new bucket. Then this bucket I'll pull out and use the contents. Once we're up to about here or so, I'll use the contents as a up to about here. We'll say about 3/4 of a bucket full. Once it's there, I'll use that material as nutrients for starting seeds in the gardens. But this is the fastest way to compost, because it's not just sitting there and letting something rot for 3 months. This is something actively eating it, and the worm poop don't smell unless you get too much water in there, and then it'll actually start to smell like sewage. But if you keep the water low, not dry but low, these little burgers will eat up more, just about anything you can put in there for them. You know, eggshells, any bits of scrap food, even little bits of meat. Now I say little bits of meat, you know, you don't want to go trying to throw a whole bunch of meat in here for them, but you know, if you've got a little bit of scrap meat left over, you can throw it in there and they'll eat it. But these guys will be the fastest way to compost you'll ever see. And all in all, right now, this is a new bucket. This is an old bucket. I bought each of the buckets from Walmart for $2.97 a piece. The worms, this tub of worms here was $2.57, and a lid for this is about $1.50. So we're talking $3, $6, $9.50 so far. The cardboard toilet paper rolls were free. The coconut core that we used for an 11-pound bundle at Home Depot, it'll cost you about $8. So the amount of coconut core we put in here would probably about 50 cents worth, we'll say, at max. So we're up to $10 to set up a worm composting system, or a vermicompost. So for $10, and you'll have some of the richest compost you'll ever use. It's a good deal. Anyway, this here's been a Handy Redneck. I'll talk to y'all later.